Hello there. We are going to do some moss pole maintenance care today, some chops and hopefully some extensions. I am on a little bit of a time crunch, so I'll probably continue this video on another day, but I at least want to do one in this time frame. I had planned on getting started earlier in the day, but I decided to edit instead because the shop is going to tie me up for the next couple days and I won't really have time to edit. I feel like I have to tell myself, Melissa, you have to take breaks. It's okay. Like, you have to take care of yourself first. So I'm just very like go, go, go. I'm just hard on myself to always keep working and to keep like doing things. I'm gonna put a footage in here of yesterday actually. I had went into my plant room to water a couple moss poles and my big Monstera Adansonii decided to topple over. I had refilled the watering globe with water and it shot out a new leaf, and I think that new leaf made it lean a bit more, and I had filled it with halfway with water and I jinxed myself. I was laughing because I was on my Instagram. I'm like, this isn't gonna tip over, it's leaning. I was making fun of it. And I turn my back for a second and it falls. So the new leaf got a bit damaged, and then I ended up repotting it and kind of restaked it a bit, and it looks better. Like, it's a huge, massive plant. So I'll play that footage now, and then we're going to go ahead and do our Philodendron Verrucosum next, and our Philodendron Splendid, which the Splendid might not be until another day, but we'll see how long it takes. I think what I'm gonna do is, I have a table here out. I think I'm gonna just bring the pole out here and work on this table kind of in my entryway here, and that can somewhat contain the mess. And I'll just kind of show you what I'm doing. So hopefully the lighting is okay enough for that. I'll see kind of how my camera reacts, but hopefully you can make it out. I'll lower you down so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna grab my moss pole supplies. I'm gonna get a container of moss and wet it so I have some fresh moss, my shears, my poles, and yeah, we're gonna get started here. My Adansonii fell. I was in here trying to like top off my poles, and it was leaning because I'm trying to water it. I've been meaning to like stake it to the wall or something and like situate it, and I jinxed myself and it just fell over and I have a huge mess. Let me show you the root system on this thing. I'm gonna put it in the lechuza planter that I bought originally. That was the wrong one for my Alocasia Michaelitziana. I'm gonna use that because I feel like that will be stable. I have a huge mess to clean up. Oh goodness, and look at the root system. Holy cow. So I'm gonna use that planter over there. It's literally impossible. Holy heck, where is this root system even coming out of? That's what I would like to know. It's hanging on by a thread. I need more mix. Okay, this is what she is looking like. This thing is a monster. I'm gonna nickname this plant Monster because that's what it is. It's massive. It's just insane. Look at the vine. Look how thick it is. So I filled half of it with soil and half with pond just for weight. I feel like the weight will be good, and then I was able to save that root system that you saw. I added another stake loosely to the front of the pole just to give a little extra support because those vines are so thick. So yeah, I'm gonna finish watering her tonight and give the base a little bit of water, and that'll help keep her secured. Yeah, this thing is just insane. She's just massive. I think I have everything I need to get started. Let me show you the Verrucosum. Clearly I'm overdue. Look how much it's leaning off the pole. Like, what the heck? I have 2 vines on this plant and it's clearly overgrown. I think what I'll do first is go ahead and chop it, the vines, and take the pole apart. I'll probably take it apart where the poles meet. It's currently on 4 thickly poles, and then I have a stake to the back. We'll remove that, repot the base, and just kind of take care of this plant. You can kind of see where I started to twist the vine there to help shorten the inner node space, and then I did it again like down there. I do feel like the silica has helped a little bit with stretching though. I feel like it wasn't as long up here as it was like down here when it was really reaching. So where the poles meet is right here. I want to go ahead and chop on the vine right here. So that's where we chopped our vine in both places there. Whoa. So that's our bottom. I'm gonna prop this and grow out the cuttings. So we're not gonna worry about that. And then this will be our new bottom part of the pole. I'll probably cut a little bit of this plastic pole away to where the bottom of the vines are, like maybe here. And then yeah, we'll take the moss out of here and replant this and then extend. I'm gonna move our thing of moss for a minute down here. Okay, I was able to take enough moss out. So what I'm gonna do is fill the bottom with my aeroid mix. It's down here on the floor. This leaf is kind of in the way on the bottom of it. I don't really want to cut it off though. I think I'm going to leave it. If it decides to yellow, then oh well. So when I redid my aeroid mix, it has pumice and lava rock, which are stones, to provide more weight. But when my Adansonii fell, I added the mixture with some pon to help add some weight. So I actually might do that. Not for this one, because this one's not too heavy, but for like future ones, I might mix a little bit more rocks in there, like pon. Or I could add more pumice and lava rock just to add more weight, because I feel like the weight down here is really what balances your pole, like centering it and making sure that this is solid. Okay, that looks good. I don't have a nursery pot for this because this planter won't fit back in the same nursery pot it was in. So let me see if I can find something in the meantime and then we'll extend it. Okay, I stole this one from another moss pole that I feel like doesn't need it as much, a shorter one. I wish I had got more of these. These are the ones that I get at Ikea, and they just fit my 5-inch repot me pots so well, or the 6-inch for moss poles. It's just the perfect combo. Okay, so We have our now shortened pole. So what I did with this, so this was the moss, and then I added actually some of my coconut husk. I'm going to try this out in the pole with the mixture of these two. I was going to use my propagation mix that has the perlite in it as well, but I'm worried for wire poles specifically, once the perlite dries, it's just going to fall right out. At least the husk pieces are a little bit bigger, like that. So I feel like that won't fall out easily, because sometimes I just hate straight sphagnum moss because I feel like it gets so hard and compacted so easily. They dry out all the time, so I think that's why I hate it in a way, because it's hard to water when it gets compacted. So I'm going to see what the husk does. So these are two medium-sized thickly poles. It's what we have. This is just their newer version that opens from the front. I haven't used one of their grow poles in a while. I feel like I haven't done any moss pole stuff in a while. Literally all of my moss poles have to get something done with them, whether it be an extension or a chop. I probably have like 15 that needs attention. My goal is to be maybe to get them all done by the end of May, all of next month. Oh, this is the large size. Whoops, I meant to grab the medium. I can't put a large over the medium, so I'll be right back. Okay, let's add this one on, then we'll build our second one. All right, I might have to add just a little moss on top here. And it goes on the inside. Feels so good to be extending poles and stuff again. Oh my gosh. It's been a while. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm worried these vines are going to snap off, so let's try and fix a little bit. And I am tempted to cut the top off just because it's going to be so long again. Oh, like, it'll need to be extended in no time. See, I'm not going to worry about that smaller one. Let's do the bigger one. I'm hoping it didn't already crack. Whoa. And this is going to look absolutely crazy until it can readjust to the light source. I forgot these are the three up top. That means I can open it and insert the vine, which I guess is nice. I forgot about that. already forgot about the second vine. This one got burnt by my grow light, it looks like, which is sad. Oh no, I see I snapped that one. No! See, I bent it. Did you guys hear the snap? I bent it too hard. Darn. Well, that one's gonna have to reshoot a new node. So this one, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to prop. That really bites. That stinks. It looks so crazy. I still have to add another layer on this one, so it's still gonna be like a really tall moss pole. Literally the top node is like all the way up here, and this is 3 layers. I cannot believe I snapped it. Darn it. Gosh darn it. So we have a mid cutting that will just grow. And this is our top cutting. So we'll include this with our, we have like probably 10 nodes at least with the bottom chunk. So we'll include that in there. Okay, I'm gonna make the other extension real quick and we'll add that on. My camera has been really annoying me. I was just recording and it just shut off randomly. It's been doing that lately a few times. So when I last hit the record button, whatever I was recording, it completely erases. And it's so frustrating. I don't know what's going on with my camera, why it's deciding to do that. I don't know if it's the specific memory card that I'm using, which I don't think so because it did it during my houseplant tours as well. And I had to like refilm part because I was filming for like 20 straight minutes and I had to like refilm it. So I had just added my extension on and I was showing you, and I moved her back down to the floor over here. So this is kind of what we have going on. So these bigger leaves that were at the top will hopefully, once it gets some proper light, this one should straighten this way. And this big leaf should hopefully straighten out. And this one will kind of turn as well. And then the top growth is now downward facing because it was dangling down off the pole. So this should turn back up. But see, we only have a foot to work with and that's it. I might try and add one more thickly layer on after this, but it's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be wobbly. I'm gonna try adding the stake back to the back of it. The stakes don't really work that well with the thickly poles, but it's something. I feel like it just gives it a little something extra. And then I'm gonna use some elastic around this top node to hopefully let it start rooting into the pole. So see, I'm gonna anchor the node against the pole first, and then we'll anchor the stake on. I'm just going to use a piece of Velcro to Velcro the stake on the back of it. It helps a little bit. I think adding some pon will make the base heavier in here. So I think for the next one, I'll add a little bit of pon into my aeroid mix. So yeah, all I have to do is give the base a little water. I hope these leaves straighten out soon. She looks a little crazy. Oh, did you hear that? My stomach's growling. I'm so hungry. I skipped lunch so that I would be hungry for dinner because I wanted to be hungry. We're going out with our neighbors. We're eating Indian food, and I'm so looking forward to it. Oh, we have a really good Indian restaurant that they took us to it one time, and we've ordered from there a couple more times since, and it's so good. So when I chopped my verrucosum last time, I cut away the roots because this is the bottom part of the pole. So a lot of the roots in here, in my experience, because I tend to underwater my poles a lot, they get dehydrated and it kind of shock in a sense. But I'm going to try and salvage the roots that I can. I'm going to cut in between each node and pot each cutting up individually in like my prop mix, because when I cut the roots off and stuck them in water, the entire plant, like all the leaves and everything, yellowed and died almost within like a few weeks, because it just wasn't able to support these big leaves without any roots, so they just yellowed almost immediately. Sometimes with my propagated leaves, the leaves will stay on and they won't yellow right away, but sometimes they yellow right away, and this was one that yellowed right away. So I'm going to try and salvage what I can with the root system. Yeah, we will get her base watered. I'm going to put her back in my plant room. And then I think my husband's going to be home in like 20 minutes and we're going to get ready to leave. So yeah, you guys will probably see me on here for another chop, which will be my Splendid, which I probably won't be able to do until maybe Monday evening if I can get my orders packaged up, or if not, it's gonna have to be Tuesday. So unfortunately, my Splendid's gonna have to wait a few more days. Yeah, because we won't be home till late tonight, and tomorrow, Sunday, I have to clean the house and water a little bit and then start packing orders, so I won't have time tomorrow. So at least I sort of got one done. I feel better about that. Hopefully I can get this all taken off by the time we have to leave. I will be back on in a couple of days and we'll continue on. Hello again. It is now Tuesday the following week. So you guys saw I chopped my verrucosum, and that was all that I was able to do that week. My Adansonii had fallen and I fixed it. And then my Splendid fell, I think, a couple days later, and my plan was to start chopping all of my poles. Well, that didn't happen. It didn't go as planned. I injured my left arm here and I haven't been able to use it. It's starting to feel a little bit better. I'm going to attempt to chop more poles today. I'm going to shoot, my goal is to shoot for 2 because I don't want to overdo it. It's been really challenging to try and just use my right hand for everything. And my arm is still pretty swollen and it still hurts when I move it a certain way. So I'm just trying to rest it. I'll probably have to take some breaks today and just kind of like elevate it and put more ice on it and everything. So I'm just going to take my time and do what I can, and I'll film what I can. I came in this morning, actually, I woke up at 7 and I was coming in this way to peek in my plant room, and I like walked by and I saw that my Marble Queen and my Just Sienna had both toppled over, and so the poles that were in front of them fell. It knocked my alocasia, regal shields, everything had fallen. The lights fell. It was a hot mess in there this morning. Thankfully they didn't like break, because my Splendid, the top growth completely broke off. The new growth got a little damaged. I'm thinking I might grab Majestic. I feel like that'll be an easy one to do. I plan on chopping it in half. It's on 4 layers of the medium right now, and I'm going to do an extension. Also, I am no longer a fan of the medium thickly poles. They're just too unsteady. I'm only going to be using the large from here on out with any new poles that I make. I do have 2 new ones that I want to make. So it's either going to be my wire pole or the large. Most of the growth are with the old medium pole. So the old poles open from the back, so you can't take the plant out. What I'm going to do is I'll do a chop and extend on with the new medium poles, the ones that open from the front. So eventually, as the plant climbs, I'll be able to take the plant out in sections and insert it into a large, because Thiccly has the large that opens from the front now. I'll be able to switch it down the road to a large. So that's my plan. I can't remember how many layers the Majestic is on of the new 3. So if it is the top 2, I might go ahead and switch it to a large, because the large is just more steady. I can easily do, my Monstera Adansonii is on a large Thiccly, and I can get away with 4 layers and it's not wobbly at all. It's just the medium's too wobbly. She's gotten huge. So this is her top growth. And then, ooh, we have all this down here. I'm gonna give you a pan view of her. So I have 2 vines in here, and good news is most of her is actually on the new 3, so that's good. So I can easily take her out and insert her into the large. That's what I'm going to attempt to do, but I do want to take some cuttings of her so that I can sell Majestic. I've had a few ask if I have like Majestic for sale, and it's such a beautiful philo that I really want to be able to share her. She's definitely outgrown this pot. I have a ton of roots coming here out of the bottom. She's gotten huge. I love how the growth here was growing, and then this middle vine ends here, the second vine. That's like the newest growth there in the middle. And then the tallest vine is off the pole, so it goes all the way up top, all the way up there. Sometimes when the leaves mature, they kind of lose the silver, but this one's beautiful. Look at that one. You can see the silver. It's really pretty. Not sure if you can make out here. So I was looking at where the 2 poles are connecting here, and it ends right here where my thumb is. And so I was thinking of cutting right here on the vine for the bigger vine. What I was really thinking was maybe combining the 2 larger vines together with the large Thiccly, and then the smaller vine I can chop up to propagate. Because this smaller vine, the new, I'm trying to turn it. The new growth isn't rooted into the pole that well. So I feel like I could at least take a good top cut and some mid cuts, but I don't know how rooted they are together in here since they're kind of side by side. Since these open from the front, I can open the clasp and pull these right out with the moss. So if both vines are kind of intertwined, the root system in with one another, I guess I don't want to risk putting the plant under stress, because in my previous chops, the more that I mess with the root system, the more stress they kind of get, a little angry. The root system might be stuck in there when I go to lift the pole out. Let me see. Okay, that one's chopped, and that was chopped. I should be able to pull this right off if it's not too rooted in here, which it might be. I think it's stuck. No, it's just very rooted. Okay, there's our top section. This smaller one isn't even rooted in here, so this actually can come right out, the smaller vine. She's not rooted at all. Oh, that's gonna be a pretty one to prop. Since this new leaf is still hardening, oh shoot, it doesn't have any roots. I'm gonna stick this in a jar of water. I'm gonna do this mid cut here and this 2-leaf beautiful top cut. We'll leave that as a top cut. That's our beautiful top cut. She's beautiful. I'll definitely sell her once she roots. Gorgeous. With this mid cutting, the internodal spacing here is really long. We don't need this long of a space. And these little roots are crispy. I'm going to cut those off. So we're going to shorten this. We're just going to cut off the excess. 1, 2. And this is the axillary bud right there. That's where a new leaf will emerge. But once these ends callus, I'm just going to stick this in water. It'll root very well in water. And once we have some roots forming, I'll stick it in my prop mix. And then that node shouldn't take too long to activate. And then we'll have a new plant growing with a beautiful leaf. She is gorgeous. When I chop like the bottom growth here, I completely take off the pole. And you can see how rooted this plant is. Look at all those roots. But I do want to try and salvage this middle vine and insert it beside this one because it'll reactivate growth from the top. So what I might do is chop it again where the other poles meet, which is right here. And I can take this section out and then, yeah, I'll just keep the middle vine that has this leaf here, this one dangling, and then it has this leaf here, this leaf here, this big one, and then this big top one, and then I'll insert it with the other one side by side. So we'll have 2 vines growing on a large thickly, if that makes sense. I'm gonna move this up to the table. So that's our top section that we're gonna take out and insert into the large. These are the large grow poles. They open from the front. So I have 3. I'm gonna do 2 to cover this and then an extension. I only have a couple more of these grow poles and I need them for one for my golden extension and then one for another one. So I'm gonna have to order more of the large. Before we tackle that, I want to chop this one again because I want to try and add this middle vine into here. There, and the one beside it. Okay. This Majestic is very sappy too. It reminds me of a Hoya, you know, the white sap. It's like clear fluid that comes out, but it's very drippy when you cut it. I think it's just frustrating me because I can't really use this arm. So I think it's just annoying me. I think it's just rooted down in here. I'm gonna break some of these roots. Okay. So that's our middle section here. And then, yeah, I don't want 3 vines climbing up. So, oh no, this is the old one. No. This is the old pole. I thought that was all the new one, so I can't slide this out through the front. No. I wanted that section though. But then I used a 3 down on here. It's probably because I was out of the 3, so I used the new one down here on the bottom. And then, shucks. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is propagate all of these nodes up to sell. Look how thin the vine is on these because it's so little. And shoot. Okay, this is gonna take a little bit longer of time. So I'm gonna take care of this and I'll be back on. I'm going to What I'm gonna have to do is open this up from the back and take all the moss off so that I can slide these out through the front openings. And then I'll insert the one vine alongside this one to grow. And the other smaller one will prop, if that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense. So I'll come back on when I'm ready to insert them together in the bigger pole so you can see that. Okay, this is where we're at. I feel like I'm getting tired. I saved a little bit of the soil that the plant was in, the bottom, because I watered in nematodes recently and I want to reuse some of this. I washed out the pot and I have a new clear pot to repot the base in. I am going to clean this out and reuse this. So the pole I did have to cut, the one that didn't open from the back or the front, because I didn't want to damage the root system. Normally when I take the plant off the pole, I cut up the bottom part individually and I cut all the roots, and so I can still salvage the pole that way. But since I want to replant this one, I didn't want to stress the plant out, so I cut the roots off the smaller vine, and then this is all rooted in here. So I'm going to take this chunk and plant it in beside the other one so that I can still have this be part of the pole. So I have that section that I'm going to add in towards the bottom. And so now what I have to do, oh gosh. Oh no, I just tore that leaf. Damn it. Luna. No, I tore the leaf. Darn it. Do you see the hole up at the top? I have to take this out of here, out of the front, and then we can insert this into the large. Girlfriend, what are you doing? This is just chaos right now. This is just utter chaos. Girlfriend, you're gonna have to get down, my love. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to get down. She doesn't want to get down. Okay. Because I can't pick her up or anything, and she's so needy. She's a needy little baby girl. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna work on taking this out of here. Okay, she wants to cuddle for a little bit. Okay, I'll be back on to check in here. I might take a little break. I feel like my arm's getting tired. I feel like I want to like elevate it and rest it up for a little bit. Hi. She's so cute. Let me see. You guys can't really see her. She's laying on me. She wants her cuddles. All right, I'll be back. I just clasped one of the new poles. So this is the large size. And what's different about these, you know, they open from the front, but it clasps every other one. So it clasps here and then it skips one. Then it clasps, skips one, clasps, skips one. So it's kind of nice, I guess. I feel like there's more room here for the vine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to undo the bottom few here. And we're going to, I have a little bit extra room here. I'm gonna slide the new pole. Actually, I'm gonna have to undo quite a bit of this. I'm probably gonna have to undo all this. I think this would have been 10 times easier if I wasn't switching the pole, you know? Oh my, it's not like latched here in the middle. I'm gonna have to do that once I stand it up and fill the rest of this with moss. It was really hard to squeeze the two in here. I probably shouldn't have done that. So before I fix this and add another extension, I'm gonna take moss out of the bottom here and we're gonna go ahead and pot this up in soil. I have 0 energy left to take more moss out of here. I did like maybe 2 inches. That's all I'm doing. I can't. Here is Majestic, all done and chopped. I'm tired. Okay. Ugh. I'll give you a final look at her, and then all the cuttings, I need to find some water vases. I probably have like 15 maybe cuttings or so, and I think I might tackle like an easy one because I feel like my arm is pretty sore now after that. So let me give you a final look at what I did with her. Here is the final look. Okay, so that's the front side. So all the big leaves are at the bottom, and the newest leaf is here up top. And I did jab it accidentally, so it's a little torn. So this vine over here, I squeezed in here, right there, and it'll reactivate a new growth from the top node, and it'll slowly like work on climbing up, but it's probably not going to be very big at first. It'll take a while to size up again. And then all the vines, I don't know if you can see that clear elastic, I use that to kind of pull them tighter to the pole. And I did another set there. So it made it more compact, because without that, the leaves were kind of like floppy and falling down. So it looks a lot better. I don't have very much room, but I can go up to 4 layers on the large thick leaf, so I can add one more. And then at that point, I think what I'll do is do a top cut and kind of keep it at the 4 layers for a while, because I don't plan on chopping this one anymore, and I really don't want the leaves to size up anymore. I am very happy with this plant the way that it is, and I want to keep it like this size for a while. Here's all the cuttings. So they've been callousing for way over an hour now. So I have lots of beautiful cuttings. Some of these towards the bottom, you know, had that yellowing, but for the most part, they're all healthy. Now, I don't know if this plant will hang on to these original leaves or it'll yellow them off. I'm not sure, but the top cut should definitely do well. So I'll find some vases for these. I made myself a little afternoon pick-me-up coffee. I took a little bit of a break and I'm back with the golden pothos. I actually started, I had to charge my mic, so I figured I would go ahead and start while it was charging. This one should be pretty straightforward. So I took the bottom section away already, and so I'm going to use that bottom section to extend on, and then I'll add one more extension. And I already took some moss out of the bottom of it and washed out the pot and everything. So yeah, all I have to do is pot it up and extend it. It should be pretty easy. You can actually see how much it was hanging off the top of the pole. So I have 3 vines, and then all 3 of these were flying off. I was just really behind on extending it. So the bottom growth was kind of all small. Now, since this was off the pole for a while, the growth started to size down, but it'll size up again in some time. This here was the bottom section. It's the regular 2.0. I'm going to use this to do the extension, and then I don't think I have any more of just the regular 2.0, so I don't know. The ones that had all the clasp in the front were really cumbersome, I guess, to work with a little bit. I feel like the snaps on the back are so much easier to close on these ones, but the only downfall, you know, is you can't open them from the front. But for the golden, I don't really necessarily need that feature. And then I should have done this for the Majestic, but I didn't. So this is my aeroid mix, and then I added some Lechuza Pon in here just for added weight. So let me see if you can see. So the pon is just kind of mixed in just to help stabilize the base a little bit, just to give more weight down at the base. And this is my normal, this is the same pot it was in, I just washed it out. And then this pot here doesn't fit these very well, but it'll work for now. I placed an order for more of the pots from Ikea, the ones that work with these pots really well. So they should be here hopefully by the end of the week, and then I'll just swap out the ceramic. So yeah, let's go ahead and pot this up first. so now we have to fix these crazy vines. Since these aren't rooted in here yet, I'm gonna have to anchor them on with some Velcro or pins. Now, since this was flying off the pole, it's kind of bent a little bit. So I just have to get them back on their side without breaking them. So I just tried to get all 3 vines straight, and then I have their aerial root into the pole. And then I'm just going to Velcro this. Just sucks because I can't really pull it. I actually think I might wait and extend this one because the pot is flipping around in the ceramic. It's not a good fit. So I feel like if I add one more extension, it's gonna fly. Because it already fell once. You see it's already leaning. And then the Verrucosum you can't really see now that I brought these other ones in. But you can see that the leaves there have kind of turned back up towards the light, the top growth and everything, because those leaves were kind of turned downward. So it seems very happy. It's just the one vine now, I think. No, it is 2 vines because the little one is over there on the side. But yeah, it hasn't shocked at all. All the leaves look happy. It looks very perky and it's doing well. So I'm very happy that it survived another chop. You can see how long the petiole is here. It's actually turning to the light source now, turning up a bit. And then that's the Majestic that I just did with you. And then, yeah, we'll extend Golden real quick once we get a new pot. I'll have my moss pole playlist and everything linked down below. If you are looking for a particular video on my moss poles or anything, just let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, I feel a little bit better now than I did earlier this morning. I was overwhelmed when my when my poles were on the ground again. So I'm glad I got to do a couple of them, and yeah, I'm gonna take a break tomorrow and I'll do some more chops, I think, on Thursday. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.